I'll be showing random B-roll footage so as to not spoil too much of the game. Yeah, just so you know. The Hex is a genre-hopping puzzle game slash existential nightmare simulator by Daniel Mullins, the sick fuck, brilliant storyteller that brought us Pony Island. If you, like me, completely missed it when it came out and enjoy a good mind boggle, I recommend you subscribe to this channel for future reviews and go play The Hex. The less you know, the better. It's good, just trust me. If you purchased the bundle for racial justice and equality on itch.io, you already own it, so no excuses there. Arr. The Hex tells the story of 6 video game characters hanging out at an inn. A phone call informs them that one of them is planning a murder and it'll go down tonight. And that's pretty much where the game stops making sense without going into spoilers. I'll keep things vague and mostly talk about what I enjoyed in abstract terms. Again, you should really play it yourself. I know, it looks hideous, but stick with it for half an hour. It goes places. Lots of places. The music is alright. It sounds like a talented amateur giving their all, which actually does match the visuals and gameplay perfectly. The real strengths here lie with the writing, the puzzles, the superb pacing, and the varied locations. The first chapter, for example, sees you reliving the memories of Super Weasel Kid, an old-school platformer mascot. Fittingly, the gameplay morphs into a parody of the Marios and Sonics. You'll spend a lot of time in these Newgrounds quality knockoffs. They don't look good, are extremely simplistic, and generally feel cheap and unpolished. However, they do an excellent job at contextualizing an incredible variety of puzzles. One chapter sees you facing impossible-to-defeat enemies. The challenge is not in the actual fight, but in selecting the right combination of cheat codes to break the encounter in your favor. Much of the game relies on the fact that it is a game, and we're not just talking about uninspired graphical glitches and wink-at-the-camera comedy. The Hex destroys the fourth wall with such gusto and grace I couldn't help but audibly laugh at how brilliantly it does so. I'll give you one more example, then I'll move on. There's a chapter that contains unsolvable puzzles, until someone in the Twitch chat spoils the solution and swiftly gets banned by the mods. Every chapter has one of these gimmicks, and they're used in many creative ways that range from gut-bustingly hilarious to deeply unsettling. The Hex was very clearly made by someone who doesn't just understand how to make games, but is also fully aware of how players interact with them, and how that interaction in turn affects the games. There's lots to discover here. I recommend you keep an eye out. An equally enjoyable but less spoilerific theme can be found at the very surface. This one is pretty obvious, so I think it's fine for me to talk about it more. In the universe of the Hex, video game characters are self-aware. Be they heroes, villains, or NPCs, they know their place in the world. They also know they are not in control. Developers determine what these characters must go through and how many sequels there will be. And even once development has wrapped up, protagonists know they are doomed to be puppeted by players, and NPCs know they're expendable. Perhaps most painful to the Hex's cast is the fact that they know how players feel about them. They can see the Steam reviews and forum posts. There's an almost cosmic feeling of despair that comes with knowing that there are higher powers that, through no fault of your own, despise you for who you are. They don't judge you by what you do because your actions have never truly been yours. They don't care about the choices you make because you could only ever choose what the developer dictates. Your creator made you who you are, but the world blames you for what you have become. There's also a dark god who makes fart jokes, which is pretty funny. The Hex comes together beautifully at the end. Even if philosophical interpretations aren't what you're looking for, there's a more literal side to the story that should be relatable to anyone. Mystery after mystery, every question has a satisfying answer. The Hex is fantastic. It's available on PC, Mac, and Linux. Like I said, if you bought the bundle for racial justice and equality, you already own it. Don't overlook the Hex. And hey, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I recently started working with keengamer.com, but I'll keep this channel around. Maybe I won't be able to do something new every week, but you know, like at least twice a month. So hey, that's a good reason to subscribe. I post fewer videos now. Okay, goodbye.
Bye, gamers.
Goodbye.